Me.
Okay.
Welcome back to the second half of Our City. I want to thank Kirsten Garlick, the Director of Health and Human Services, for the first segment. And I also want to welcome Miss Karla Spivey Bouie, who is the new Executive Director of the Elizabethport Presbyterian Center. And Karla, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, how did you wind up in Elizabeth? If you knew somebody on my staff for many years, are you an Elizabeth girl or no?
No, I'm a Jersey girl, though.
Oh, you are?
I'm born and raised in Montclair, New Jersey. My parents, I'm actually third generation Montclair. My parents and grandparents are all from Montclair. I attended college at Hampton University in Virginia, returned, worked in for-profit at Horizon Blue Cross and Blue Shield, and then I just dedicated my life to nonprofit work. I also have a master's in public administration from Rutgers University.
Oh, good. Well, that we're equal. What's your undergrad in?
Accounting.
Oh, okay.
Accounting.
My undergrad's economics and my master's is in public administration.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I didn't like doing papers, so that's why I did an undergrad in economics.
Did you go to Rutgers? Or
No, I went to Kane.
Okay.
My undergrad and graduate degrees from Kane. So, how long have you been the executive director? It's just started, right?
I just started.
I
actually started the week of Hurricane Sandy.
Oh, lovely. Great week to commute, huh?
Right. It was a great week to commute, so I was just thrown in the middle of a hurricane, but I was so happy and I knew I made the right choice once I saw how the staff responded to the community, the neighborhood of Elizabethport.
Now, Karla, tell me what you did before the executive director. You told me that some of the things. How do you think your previous roles are going to help you become in your role as executive director of Elizabethport Presbyterian Center?
I actually, my last job, I was the deputy executive director for development and public relations at Newark Emergency Services for families in Essex County. And there I was responsible for fundraising and the communications and public relations and building relationships with the foundations and the corporate community. Okay. When I started at Newark Emergency Services, I started as the finance director. So I worked there for about 7 years and was able to really hone my experience in nonprofit work. Prior to that, I worked with David Chiara at the Education Law Center.
I know David.
Yeah, I worked there, and I was a director in charge of community engagement and parent involvement. So I have a great wealth of experience in the Abbott legislation because they were actually the group that argued the suit.
Tell us about the Abbott legislation. And just some of the people, it hasn't been a fight lately, so they don't. Elizabeth is an Abbott district.
Yeah, so. It's actually to ensure that the state provides fair and equitable funding for public education. And one of the biggest components, which actually is a natural marriage for me, is the early childhood piece, because as you know, Elizabethport Presbyterian Center has a early childhood program, a pre-K program, where we receive money to provide a equitable education for the 3 and 4 year olds in the city of Elizabeth.
So what made you come to Elizabeth, since you're a Montclair girl? What made you come here?
Oh, well, I actually really, when I met with the board, really felt their passion, really felt their commitment to the community. And similar to Newark Emergency Services for Families, Elizabethport was born out of the social economic struggle in the 60s, and it actually was formed to support families and individuals in crisis. So I like that history, and I just could feel the passion of the board and the staff, and it just has such a rich history. And Elizabethport, the press, as it's affectionately called, actually is generational, has impacted families for generations. Since my start date, every week I have somebody who comes into my office just to meet me and really has firsthand experience how the press impacted their lives. A lot of them are press kids, a lot of them children attended the preschool program, and you actually see a growth of a family, and you actually see how the press has impacted various pieces of the family and the community.
So the new building, you're the beneficiary of a new building, which I can tell you doing the financing for that was difficult over a couple of years. And also at the times it almost fell apart over a couple of times too. But you just finally moved in this past summer, and that's a state-of-the-art building for not only education but some of the other services. Tell us how that building functions for you.
Well, first I want to thank you, because I know that you were really one of those people who believed in the vision when it was just a vision, and you actually work with the past leadership and also the board in order to make this vision a reality. So we really need to thank you and the city of Elizabeth.
I told Rod Spearman he couldn't see the building was up.
And the city of Elizabeth. But the like you said, the building is a state of the art. It's a technology hub. We have a technology center for the neighborhood. It has about 12 computers in the computer room. We have 3 smart boards. And those boards actually enable us to upload various courses, and we're able to do distance learning, and we're able to actually upload exercise programs.
Are there only kids that take advantage of this, or
yes, it's going to be kids, parents, and the community, because we also have those computers have also enabled us to create a family resource center. So on a daily basis, we have members of the community coming in, because as you know, a lot of employment applications are now done online. So we have staff members who can help guide those neighborhood residents to come in, complete applications, print off, the follow-up and confirmations. So it's actually not just for the children, it's actually for the neighborhood, because we have, as you know, a senior club, a very active senior club. They meet every Thursday, and I'm trying to do some surveying just to see what the needs are of the community. And one of the most prevailing needs is the computer training for older adults. So we're really actually trying to start finding.
How do you find the older adults on the computer training? Are they energetic? Are they?
They're very excited.
They are, right?
I mean,
you know,
the senior clubs, they're very demanding, and they have a set of priorities that they really want us to undertake. And I would say that computer and technology and computer education is one, but the other, healthy living and healthy lifestyles. And as you know, we have the medical suite on the 2nd floor, and that's a really strong partnership, because we're all co-located in one building. So not only does the building offer the social services and the early childhood piece, but we also have a health suite, flu shots, a dental office, child care, OBGYN. So it's a full service medical center.
That health center that we did started a while ago, and now we house it in your building.
Yes.
It was something that helped the financing as well to get that building going. So how many folks are going through? Do you have any idea yet?
Well,
since you're new, do you know how many people are going through there?
I really don't know how many people, but I know that they're packed every day. You go upstairs and their waiting room is filled to capacity. And I would think now, as you talked about with Krishna, we have the flu epidemic, so they offer the flu shots, and people who are sick who are coming.
How about what new programs are you planning on having, or any new events that are coming up? We got a couple minutes left, so I figured anything new is always a good thing.
Well, the Family Resource Center, we received that certification. We're part of now the Family Service Network with the United Way of Union. We also have a Black History program that we are in the planning stages. We really haven't solidified the date for next month. And our early childhood program, they're doing an International Day this month, which is the 3rd Wednesday of this month, where parents and children will come back that evening and have a potluck dinner and talk about their various cultures. So. And
Karla, what about your personal challenges? What do you think you'd like to see happen? Anything off the reservation, so to say? Is there anything like not being discussed that if you had to wave a magic wand, you could pick something and say, hey, let's do this?
Well, I think more civic engagement, workforce development, prisoner reintegration. We have a lot of ex-offenders who are coming back into society, so how can we support them to become positive and members of the society? I know they face a lot of challenges, and it's up to us to help support them. And we talked about also doing a lot of financial literacy and starting with the youngsters, not just bringing in adults, but talking about financial literacy at an early age.
Karla, I want to thank you for taking the time to join us on the show this evening, and I wish you Godspeed and lots of luck.
Thank you.
In your role as the executive director at Elizabeth Port Presbyterian Center.
Thank you so much.
Best wishes.
Okay.
For Karla Spivey Bouie, as the Executive Director at Elizabeth Port Presbyterian Center, and Director Krishna Garlick of the Health and Human Services Department in the City of Elizabeth, I'm Chris Bolwage, and we'll see you next week on another edition of Our City.